The final chapter of this match, Azumo and Rizzi in Game 5 with a trip to the finals on the line. I'm Nova, of course, PBS next to me. We have casted this entire match. No surprise, this is going to Game 5. These are two of North America's best competitors, Zoo Warlock versus Murloc Paladin. PBS, what do you think is going to happen here?
Tell you what, I'm ready for an exciting match. I can't believe we get to go Game 5. We get to go the full gauntlet of the matches, all the decks, and see everything these guys are made of. I'm pumped.
Hearthstone can be kind of a variable game. It's really interesting to see that these two decks in this match, which is so important, the two decks are doing the exact same thing. Zoo Warlock and Murloc Paladin both want to get on the board. They want to get that tempo, start quick, start early, pressure, dominate the board, suffocate the opponent. PBS, what is each person looking for when the game starts?
Well, I think you want to look at Azumo first, his Zoo Warlock. He's looking for those cards, that Kobold Librarian, that Vulgar Homunculus. He wants those things to get down quick, control the board. The Librarian's big. If he can get it down, get that card draw going, even though he has it in his back pocket with his hero power, if he can get it going off his cards and save that tempo, it's going to be huge for him in the long run. Looking on the other side at Aunt Rizzi, you're looking at a guy playing Murloc. Murlocs synergize extremely well with each other. Is the whole point of the deck. He wants to see that Vile Fin into that rock pool, really get rolling, steamroll the Zoo Warlock, blow him out of the building.
You mentioned it earlier, the Zoo is not running Keleseth. It is a Homunculus deck with the Blood for Your Potions, so they will not be looking for a Keleseth match over. This thing's going to take a little bit of time. Zoo Warlock, Murloc Paladin, for the battle for America. This is a trip to the finals on the line. Let's go to the game. Here we go, the most important phase of the match, the opening hands. Both look pretty decent, actually. The Despicable Dreadlord is probably going to get mulliganed. What do you think about the Murloc's hand here, and Rizzi?
Love the Tide Caller. The call to arms is big. I don't know if you want both of them at the same time, but it does put a lot of pressure on. Up top, I think you have to get rid of the Councilman, even though it is a big card for the match. Let's see what he comes up with.
Having both call to arms is not what you want at all.
There's the Kobold Librarian, looking pretty good from the Warlock side as he comes out turn 1.
Azumo looks nice. He's got the Demon Fire. He's got two demons lined up, so I think we're going to be okay.
Down quick. He's going to get the card draw here. Spellbreaker could be big, particularly for a Murloc War Leader.
This is always an interesting move here, getting the chum down and then coining out the Tide Caller, or do you not do that?
I think you have to coin it out here. Just go ahead and get it on board. He can't kill it with simply the Librarian. He's going to pass. So you're going to see the Vulgar Homunculus come down, and the Warlock's going to keep tempo here.
There's a good chance that he's waiting for the coin to use on 3 to get both call to arms out at 3-4. Maybe that's what he's thinking with the coin.
He's going to get Divine Favor. Pretty much dead card in this matchup. You're not really going to see the Warlock have a bigger hand advantage as they're trying to empty their hand just as fast as the Paladin is.
This is where that coin not playing the Tide Caller kind of comes into effect, because now you coin the Rallying Blade just to get some damage on the Homunculus to try and kill it next turn.
Right.
But now the Tide Caller is just sitting there.
Correct. You're way behind in tempo now.
He has to hope that Azumo gets nothing, which he really did pretty much pull air. So he's going to tap. This is exactly what Aunt Rizzi needed.
He needed a pass turn here. There's a draw from the Glacial Shard, and that's going to shut down the weapon for next turn.
Yeah, Glacial Shard coming out was not good, because if Glacial Shard doesn't come out, you can kill the Homunculus, get down this Chum, get down this Tide Caller. All of a sudden, you switch the tempo quick.
The 1-mana Grimscale Chum, not a bad draw. I would say potentially one of the best draws he could have had, other than perhaps a Rock Pool where he could drop the Tide Caller into the Rock Pool. But the Chum into the Tide Caller should help stabilize a little bit on the board, and you've got a healthy Tide Caller here. Of course, you're looking on the other side. That Soulfire's not looking too great.
Yeah, Aunt Rizzi, I think the 2 turns right there could have gone a lot worse for him, and he actually picked up a little bit of tempo. He got down the Murlocs quick, and he's leading into that call to arms.
Yeah, that Blood Fury potion is going to swing things big time here. He's going to go straight into the Soulfire. I don't think he really cares what he discards. Spellbreaker is probably the best thing that could have happened for him.
In my opinion, that is definitely the best card. Spellbreaker is more than likely not going to be an issue against the Murloc. Now it's just call to arms and pray.
Exactly. And call to arms is a huge card, big time tempo. Righteous Protector is what he needed to see. He needs something to slow down on the other side. And he can come out call to arms again next turn and continue to build that strong board.
The Righteous Protector is the most important card to get off of call to arms, because like you said, it slows everything down. It stops everything. If he doesn't get that, he can pick off these Murlocs. He doesn't know he has call to arms coming up again, which is going to even widen this board.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about there's only 2 cards obviously in the entire deck. He's got them both in his hand, 7 cards in. You can't plan for that.
Right. And then, of course, Dreadlord. Dreadlord is a miserable hand to have when you're trying to widen the board, when you're trying to get that tempo, because the constant damage, knocking down your minions, is tough.
It's particularly bad against a Murloc Paladin, because Murlocs synergize so well with each other with the buffs from the Cold Light Seer, the Murloc War Leader. It's not going to just wipe the board out. It's never going to be able to do that. And getting the Knife Juggler first time out of Call to Arms, that's always feels good on that end.
I feel like everybody in Hearthstone who's been playing since early beta or even one of the first expansions. Knife Juggler is, everyone has PTSD. Everyone just says, we have to get this Knife Juggler down, so we don't want to take these knives to the face.
Correct. Every damage counts in a deck such as this, and him just throwing one damage here, there, and there. You've seen him many times, many different YouTubers and streamers, they always talk about how much one damage matters. That Knife Juggler, anytime you summon a minion, if it stays on board, it's going to hurt one way or another.
A Knife Juggler really matters against a deck that also wants to tap and get some more life off of itself. So those one damages combined with the taps, that's a lot of damage that Azumo's just handing to Anrizi here.
So we get the top deck Crystal Weaver, buff the Void Walker, which is a pretty big deal because it allows him to handle the board a little bit better. Without the Crystal Weaver, he would not have been able to use the Void Walker to kill the Knife Juggler.
Using the Demon Fire to kill the Tidecaller, I love seeing Demon Fire in a defensive kind of way. You always think it's just a buff card. It's just a card that you throw in there to buff your minions. But using it as a clear, especially in this kind of a matchup, I think is a fantastic play.
Oh, no doubt about it. When you're talking about two decks that want to control the board, using it for 2 damage on what is usually going to be a small minion in the Murloc deck is absolutely wonderful. Helps you get that one guy down and keep tempo.
This is a part where Zoo can struggle, right? Zoo sometimes can play off the top. Yes, they can tap, but right now we're going to see Dreadlord come down. But we have a lot of cards in Anrizi's hand. Right now, in this phase of the game, which side do you think has the advantage?
Right now, I'm leaning towards the Warlock. He has some big minions on board. Something like the Hydrologist, getting that secret's going to help. Certainly,
The Divine Favor. I mean, the
Divine
shields are
Shield
unbelievable.
from the Unidentified Maul is a big deal. All it is now is, see, now you've run into an issue with the Warlock where the Doomguard and the Dreadlord, they've bulked up this hand.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do here.
Doomguard is totally unplayable at this point.
Eye for an Eye was an interesting choice. But going back to it, the Warlock still...
Well, he is setting up lethal.
Correct. He's working to set up lethal. But
having Doomguard in hand is now a situation where this Paladin has to put up a wall.
I agree. I think what you're looking at here with the Warlock realizes time's running out. Megasaur here, dropping the War Leader into the Megasaur. You get the right. We're looking for a Poisonous. Poisonous is going to swing the game. It's Poisonous or nothing. It's Poisonous.
Poisonous.
That's what he had to have.
This is looking good. You're looking for Poison. You're looking for Taunt. You're looking for another Divine Shield.
You could also go to +3 attack here. I think Poisonous is obviously the right play. It gives you something on board, but...
Playing Warlock, you have to know that Doomguard's always an option. So I think that he knows his life total is creeping down.
Now, Anrizi could be thinking +3 attack here, kill the 2 guys on board, and set up a little bit more damage to throw in next turn, maybe even looking for lethal.
This is going to be a huge... I would take Poisonous and clear the board. What would you do?
You can clear it with either one, but Poisonous gives you the extra Poisonous on the War Leader in case he throws something down that you can't handle.
Right.
Because +3 attack on the War Leader would not kill a Doomguard thrown down. You'd have to throw both of them into it.
Right.
So I would think
he's
going to
taking
go
his
Poisonous.
time. I mean, this is for a spot in the finals.
Correct.
He
This
goes
is the
to
biggest
Poisonous.
play of his season.
He goes to Poisonous, takes out the Dreadlord like we thought. Crystal Weaver will be next. Chooses to go.
The weapon.
This is it. It's
I don't
over.
know. That was
the game's over.
Yeah,
That's
that's an interesting call.
Why do you take that extra damage? I don't like that play at all.
As low as you are, knowing a Zoo runs Doomguard, I can't understand it.
United States of Azumo. He is going to the finals. The match is over. Anrizi, a questionable call. Azumo is going to the finals. Wow, the match is over. Azumo pulls out the win. Experience trumps the newcomer, the Miracle Man, Anrizi. The United States belongs to Azumo. He is heading to the finals. Unbelievable match there. I have to question that last decision from Anrizi to use the weapon to take the damage. He was not in lethal. He was not in range, right? He had 6 health. Why do that?
I gotta be honest with you, I don't have an answer for you. The thing I'm thinking about in my head when I'm playing a deck like that and I have a weapon, I've got to wonder what one card could kill me. If I think he has Doomguard in his hand, you're thinking, well, I've got to stay at 6 because he has to discard. He only had one other card in his hand, so he's gonna have to discard 2 of them. Mm-hmm. So getting down past 5 is a huge deal because that Doomguard coming out of the hand is going to get rid of it. It doesn't matter about the buffs. It doesn't matter, a Soulfire obviously would have changed everything, but the buffs don't matter as far as the Blood Fury Potions, the Demon Fire. He will not be able to use it because he has to discard them. Unless he obviously gets lucky and just hits the right one. But you got to look at it thinking, why would he not try to stay out of the Doomguard lethal? He knows it's in a Zoo deck.
I've played a lot of Zoo, and the thing with Zoo in that late game, the best part is that you don't just play off the top because you have the tap. So even if he doesn't believe Doomguard is the one card in his hand, even if he's trying to read his hand, you have to know, sitting at 8 health, you're always one tap away from Doomguard. So you're virtually giving your opponent 2 attempts at finding a Doomguard every single turn moving forward, even if he doesn't have it that hand, because there's no way for the Paladin to regain health.
Not in the Murloc deck, correct.
I just don't understand what Aunt Reezy did right there. Maybe the moment got too bright for him.
You got to think maybe the miracle run was just over. It was time. He had used up all of Ben Brode's blessing, and it was just over.
That's something that, flying back, he'll think about. Hopefully we'll see him next year. Aunt Reezy, a young, great player. He had a fantastic year. Absolutely no reason for him to feel bad about this. He knocked off Tom. He faced arguably one of the greatest Hearthstone players, certainly from North America, ever in Azumo. I mean, Azumo's won 9 titles. You don't go up against a guy like that, take him to the limit in Game 5 and feel bad about it. So congrats to Aunt Reezy. Azuma will be in the finals. Let's go ahead and check out who he'll be facing in the next match.